Suppose let's we have a task that we have to predict the stock market prices, stock price for a special stock price. We have to predict it for the next day. That is the task that we have. Now let is the task that we have to predict the stock price for the next day. How are we doing it? Simple. Since the stock price is changing market to market, it depends not have yeah, have there are lots of features, but it depends on the public sentiments, its market sentiments. It's totally depends on various factors. That is not totally depend on the some situations. Now, how will predict these things? Okay, simple the technique that we have to apply to retrain the models periodically. Okay, let's try to understand through this simple. Suppose let's take the data sets that we have. Suppose let's take these are the data set that we have. These are the some data that this is the for day 1, day 2, day 3 like that. Here have some data. So day 10, day 11, day 12, day 13, day 14 like that. There is under dt plus 1 like that. Suppose it's a day 1 data, it's a day 2 data, it's day 3 data. Loudlet, it's day 10 data, 11, day 12, day 13, day 14, day t plus 1 like that. These are the data sets that we have. Okay, now suppose let's take now we have on this, we have to predict, we have to build some models that will predict the data d10 d11, sorry, let we have to predict this data d11. Now we have the data till now here, till now d10 we have to take the data, this data. On the basis of this data, up to d10, up to day 10, d10 means the day 10 data, we have make some models, on this data. Suppose let's we have make models m10 on using this data. Now using on this data, on this model, on the basis of this model n10, we have to make the predictions on the day 11, day 12, day 13 like that. Suppose using these models m10, if we apply the data on the d11 data, if we apply on these models, we have got some accuracy value. Using some AUC matrix or performance matrix, you can use somehow we can use this accuracy. Suppose let's here we got the accuracy 0.85. If you apply on here on these models on the d12 data, then we got some accuracy. Suppose let's we got this accuracy 0.01 like that. If we apply or if you on these models m10, if we apply the data d13 data, then it will reduce suppose let's click 6 like that. Just see it at time increases. Since on to build these models m10, we have apply on this data up to d10 data, only this 10 days data we have applied. And since because of these reasons, day 11, day 12, day 13, performance has decreased. Okay, so these type of technique are called the repeatedly retraining the model periodically to remove these things. As time increases, these models has performance has decreased, so somehow we have to need to retrain it using the recent data. Okay, means we have to repeatedly retrain these things. Okay, how will do things? Now the first questions that brings into our mind, how to determine we have to retrain or not. These things first questions. How to determine in if you have to retrain or not. or not? How will find it? How will know? So there are various techniques. So first you can got it like a, if models performance are dropping, just see it on this scenario, on this stock market price data. The model performance, as day increases, as time increases, the model performance has decreased. So this is the first thing, that from this model performance you can make a decisions. So if model performance is decreased, is decreased, if this model's performance is decreased, then we have to retrain it. First thing. The second thing we have to know, if the data sets itself is changing. If suppose the data on the D train and the data on the D11, if it is changed, then model performance has changed dramatically. And this is the same concept we will got it here. If the data set itself, the data sets itself is changing, then we have to retrain it. Okay, now let's see how this data set, how we know this data sets is changing or not. Let it, suppose these are the data sets up to D10, and these are the data sets from the D11 to after that. These are the data sets. Suppose these are the data sets. Suppose this is the D9 and this is the D10, this is the D11, like that. This is the data set. Suppose this is the D11, D10 data, D9 data, D8 data, D7 data, D6 data. These are the data sets. Okay, and on this basis of this data set we have make our models M10. On this, using these data sets we have built our model M10. Now here it is the data sets of the D11, it is the data set D12, D13. Here the data sets of the D11, D13 data. Okay, these are the data sets. If the distributions, we have some distributions on this, if we have the, if distributions are different, if these two data distributions are the difference, distributions are different, means distributions of this data and the distributions of this data are different, then we have to know these data sets is still changing so much, then our model's performance will start to decrease. If these things happen, then we have to know. Okay, and these kind of situations are called the non-stationary data. This kind of data are called the, means I am talking about the stock market data. These data sets are called the non-stationary data. This kind of data non, this type of data are called the non-stationary data. Okay, and like stock market data, this type of data is called the stock market data. Non-stationary data means in day to day it's changing. Okay, it's depend on the market sentiments. Public means what are the news they have, how the budgets that they have published, what are the, since various sentiment they have. Actually it depends to change this data. It's not actually predictables, it depends on situation to situations. Okay, so this kind of data are actually called the non-stationary data, and this type, in such situations we need to retrain models regular basis. In such situations we need to retrain in regular basis. Retrain in regular basis. like it will be in day, like it will be in hour, like it will be in minute, like that, or it will be in month. It depends on the situation to situations, problem to problems, applications to applications, so it's depend on that. Okay, I think you will got the idea why actually we need mainly in these two situations. If our model performance has decreased, and if we have the non-stationary data like that, like stock market type data, then it needs to retrain in regular basis. And it's a regular concept, means this time concept, it depends on the time, it's problem to problem, situation to situations. When we discuss the case study on this type of data, using this type of data, non-stationary data, then you will see it how we will retrain it by simple using. Means simple, it is the retraining. If to retrain a model, if our cost of that retraining models is so low, then we can apply it on regular basis. If to train a to retrain a models, if we have cost so large, then we need to think about it for the further step, how we'll do it. Okay, so we'll see it when we discuss the various case study in details. We have to see how to apply these things in real world.